the legs to the spine. The interaction between your legs and your spine is such a massive part of all of your everyday movements, and getting this really smooth can really make a massive difference. The reason I'm making this video is because I've been asked a few questions about the psoas and people feel they've got a tight psoas and that kind of thing. One of that muscle's main functions is hip flexion. It's a very deep muscle. It's a very difficult muscle to feel. But if your legs and spine are moving well together, then your psoas will be facilitating that and will be working really well and really nicely. So I often find that it's easier to work with larger tangible things like moving the legs and feeling that with the articulation in the spine, rather than trying to work with sort of a narrow focus on one sort of quite difficult to sense muscle. So yeah, the best way to use this video is going to be a follow along video, but I'd recommend I'm just going to keep it quite short, but I'd recommend you watch all the instructions all the way through and then do it yourself afterwards, with it maybe playing in the background or something, so you don't have to sort of keep craning your neck up to look and check what's going on the video. Well, I hope you enjoy, and let me know in the comments how if this worked for you, if you had any particular feelings or any feedback. Thanks.
So we're going to start lying on your back with your knees standing like this. Just want to get a feel for how your body's making contact with the floor in this position. Can you feel your pelvis making contact with the floor? Can you feel your shoulders making contact with the floor? And then the first thing we're going to play with is just gently raising one leg and then the other leg, and seeing how this affects the rest of your body, particularly your spine. Can you feel where is working to lift the leg? What action is going on in your hip? Can you feel how lifting the leg changes the pattern of pressure with yourself against the floor? When you've done that for a few moments, just let it rest. And then once again, connect with how you're making contact with the floor. Then try lifting both legs at the same time and lowering them down, and noticing how much difference this makes. Does this make a bigger impact with your pressure that you're making against the floor? Does your back start to arch? Do you feel a lot more effort involved when you lift both legs as opposed to lifting one? Throughout the whole thing, we're looking to see how easy we can make all of these movements. So try a couple more times, just lifting and seeing what's the least you can do to lift your legs and make that feel comfortable. Then have a rest. Let your legs just rest on the floor again, and feet pressing to the floor. And again, check in with how much of your body is making contact with the floor beneath you and how that feels. Then after a few more moments, you're going to lift your legs again and then gently play with extending one of your legs. Doesn't matter which one, but just feel about how you can reach out with that. How does that feel in your hip socket? How does that feel with your spine? What happens to your spine when you extend one of your legs? Play around with rotating it in and out, going low, going high. Again, you're not trying to work out here, just feel for what the movement feels like rather than trying to find any sensation of effort. You're just looking for how this movement affects your body. And then let that rest for a second. And then try with the other leg. So extending it out. Does this leg feel any different? Is it any easier, harder? rotating feel any different? Do you have more range with this leg than the other one? Just noticing all of these differences. Then again, putting your foot down and coming to a rest. So that's an exercise that's heavily influenced by the Feldenkrais method. If you haven't heard of it or haven't checked it out before, I can strongly recommend doing so. It's great for learning to perceive your body in a different way, which can make a huge difference to how you perceive your pain or your ability to move, and can have a big carryover to your capability and your ability for powerful and good movement. What I'd really recommend doing now is taking some time to go back through those movements at your own pace, really feeling into how your body responds to them, what happens in the rest of your body when you're lifting your legs, particularly with your spine, and try and feel the connection between the two that can make it as effortless as possible. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that, and yeah, let me know your experiences in the comments below, and thanks for watching.